Wow, all the bells are going off too. We got the sun, the queen of the heavens, and the moon. And church bells are going off in the background. And my hawk has arrived. I had to record some of this, everybody, because I've been having just magical moments. And I thought I would share a little bit with you. For the last 20 minutes, I have been going through very, very amazing waves of spiritual waves of positivity and energy, goodness. I've been grounding and cleansing and getting rid of all the negative energy from dream time and our daily activities when we pick up astral debris throughout our day and night. In the morning, you need to ground. And we got the sun and the moon. And yesterday, everybody, check out the show I did yesterday here live on YouTube, because when I talked about in the small clip about the sombrero galaxy, the sun was pumping out light codes, energetic plasmic arms. And I'm going to share something with you guys that's very private to me. It's like I said the last few days, it's almost like I'm sharing inside look into equivalent to like somebody's prayers or something like this. So I don't want to get in really specific, like some of the privileged encounters and information and things that I've seen, but I can give you a general basis. Is that when I interface with the sun, if you want to say meditate or whatever, when I'm able to silence all the negative chatter around me and really go deep within myself, and these tensor tools, I'm telling you, the one for the earpiece is off the charts, brings you to the 0 point. It brings you, whatever you want to describe it, it brings you to like a 4D mindset, and it brings you to like an almost like a free state. And when I put this on with other things too, sometimes I don't even need it, but it just enhances it. But when I put this on and I look towards the sun for a moment, then I close my eyes. It's like a radar screen in the darkness. When you close your eyes, it's like a radar screen appears, sort of, and I see sometimes dozens, sometimes one or two, sometimes hundreds of little energetic plasmic fireballs telling me where certain plasmic intelligence beings are, that's somehow coming through the sun, and where they're located on our planet and around us. And then when I open my eyes, sometimes I even see the physical imprint of what they look like, and certain creatures, if you want to say, or Grigori, that are associated with this. And when I was coming in here this morning, I literally saw a beautiful 30-foot sort of, like, if you want to say, like a not like a spirit, but just like it seems like an ancient guardian, an ancient one, just welcoming me in to this, like, I don't know why I got tricked on that word for a second. It was like welcoming me welcoming me in to, it's one of my tongue twisters, I guess. It was like welcoming me in to the street that I pulled into to come in here this morning. I felt it, and then I saw it, and it wasn't scary. It was just a lot larger than we are, and like welcoming my car in. And when I started to walk around, immediately I felt it this morning around here. The veil is very thin right now on the planet. very thin. So we're able to tap in to a lot of this. This is why people are having encounters with like ancestor type energies as well. Because our mind is tapped in to our higher dimensions. There's a transformation happening within the universe. So you can tap into a multiverse of dimensions. They are literally colliding within each other. And they're forming little flashbacks, imprints to arise. Times are converging. And this is the fallout. Like I was talking about yesterday, in ancient Italy, they have what we call the Tanaric mystics. Now, they also have the Genaric, spelled J. And these are one that hold, hereditary families throughout time that have been passing down the stellar and the ancient mysteries associated with the stars. And each generation that inherits it or awakens it or remembers it within their bioenergetic system gets clearer, especially the more work they do towards it. And this happens because I think because certain times in the way the cycles go, that at certain times people need to know certain information. And our ancestors had the connection like we do, but they associated it with almost like they're worshiping gods or ancient spirits. But it's really much more than that. It's related to soul contracts and changing the harmonic evolution of the planet. Because there's multiple possibilities that can happen. There's timelines that we can go down. And there's a frequency war that's happening on this planet. Throughout the universe, throughout the whole universe, throughout galaxies, and we are just a small part of it. Even I wanted to save this for my home video that I'm gonna do, and this is very interesting stuff that I guess you could find some of it in my old videos as well. But the whole idea of certain mystics and certain telepaths, certain psychics communicating with a force, a higher intelligence that calls itself the Nine. Basically like 9 principles of the universe. 9 harmonic laws that can uphold a higher dimensional state, a oneness. And ancient Egyptians called these 9 beings the Aeonid, right? They called these 9 beings basically like they hold up the harmonic law of the Mat, all right? And this is they even have a goddess that they would call that as well, the god associated with harmony, right? But there are these groups of mystics and psychics all throughout time that have connected to the nine. It's not just from modern day UFO sightings, or I talked about in my Leap Project interview, and I've mentioned it here on my videos as well. It's just through Dr. Puharich and Vinod, the mystic who worked in Project Penguin. And I don't know if he was technically in Project Penguin with the government, but it was definitely part of that research, because Ancient Aliens actually got it wrong. I saw a little clip where Ancient Aliens was even talking about the experiments of Dr. Puharich with the Faraday cage, and they talk about it happening in I forget where they said Maryland or whatever, but actually Dr. Puharich had invited Dr. Vinod, this Indian mystic, up to his place in Maine at first in the 1950s. And as soon as this was like a little Indian mystic guy, and he never had channeled before or anything like that. He came from an ancient Indian background, and they frowned upon, sort of like channeling and doing that. It's sort of like the way even, the Catholics would frown upon witches or something like that, right? That's how some of his upbringing thought about it, right? So it wasn't something that he normally did, this guy. And Dr. Puharich was, of course, the man that was, and he was a PhD, Dr. Puharich. He was a psychiatrist as well, and he was a medical doctor and a psychiatrist. He had many patents, over 50 patents. This guy was a super genius, and he was looked at as sort of like a loose cannon in the medical community and the psychiatry, but definitely was well respected for his intelligence. And he was introduced through I forget who the guy that introduced him, but he was introduced to Dr. Vinod one day, and then many months later they bumped into each other on the train, like in Pleasantville, New York. And I've been at lectures where they talk, this story was talked about as well, where he first met this guy. And then so from there he invited him up to his place in Maine. Like I said, Dr. Puharich had a place right here in Ossining, New York. I know exactly where it was. Now that's called Parth Knowles in that area. They built on top of it. But he owned it in like the 60s and 70s. He owned that estate right in Ossining as well, Dr. Puharich, and he was doing the tests there. And he was always throughout these counties here. He was always associated with like Westchester, Rockland, and New York City, right here for many years. And then he was his labs were, Lab 9 was burnt down here in Ossining, New York, and it was by arson. So he thought it was like the CIA or somebody. So he had fled New York from living here for a while. And then unfortunately, like when he died, he was like living on someone else's estate, and he pretty much had lost all his stuff, his homes. So that it wasn't that great of an ending for him as well. He went through a lot, I guess, but he was one of the first guys in modern history to come out with information about the nine. But you guys don't realize, embedded within my DNA, embedded within a lot of ancient Italian DNA as well, this information, especially people that have northern Italy and Tuscany and some Etruscan DNA within them, some family lines were dedicated to holding information about the nine. And people don't even realize that. Even Norse backgrounds, even Chinese backgrounds, the nine are part of a galactic soul contract federation that had many souls coming down from different species, and they contributed to a lot of different, a mix of different races contributed to who we are. Right? So there are 9 Chinese emperor kings as well, these gods, right? And even Norse have 9. They're all these creator gods are all, and they're not exactly people like you think, like people think. It's actually an energy. It's harmonic frequencies, and it's way more complicated than people realize. They want to think of it as a, but they have taken physical form before on this earth realm. And in Etruscan, they have 9 gods as well, and these are the ultimate 9. And the 9 are the ones that watch over, you know, races. They watch over the energy of the planet, everything on the planet. They're the ones that are weaving space-time, basically. You know, I have a whole, it would take, you know, I got it, it's better to like read it than give you the whole thing, but all the names as well. But I have a whole ancient Tuscan list of creation stories, right? And wow, I got a huge, look at this helicopter above me right now. Why can't I friggin' open up my thing larger? It was like red and black. That shit was weird. So, what was I talking about? All the 9. So, there's a whole creation story that goes with one that they call Ravin or Raven, right? And it's not. It's told in the form of a crow and being related to even the crows on our planet now, but it's way much bigger than that. It's literally a stellar being, a higher dimensional being that gets together the 9, and there's basically a cosmic war between light and darkness, and depending on the outcome of this war depends on the state of mankind as well, right? So there's a whole story that goes behind in this show that we're going to do. So what else did I wanted to bring up? Oh yeah, so one of the 9 is, of course, and you know, I've been talking about this for years. One of the 9 in the ancient quote-unquote mythology is called Cern or Kern, right? And Kern has to do with the dark matter, and has to do with a whole bunch in these stories. So it's very, very interesting, guys. And CERN is not called CERN for no reason, and they don't. It's the reason why they even have you know, Hindu gods doing the cosmic dance of destruction and destruction right outside their office, right? Even a 666 symbol within their sign, right? And so, wow, the freaking moon is amazing right now too. I wanted to really come. I feel, you know, I'm so relaxed right now and mellow from like what I experienced before I did this video. I literally had there's right now hundreds of plasmic intelligent beings that are around us, and I feel them all around me. And when I close my eyes, I get a sense of where all of them are, when I open my eyes, sometimes I can see imprints of them. It's truly amazing. And you can see right here, we're in a sacred area, even though they have a park lot in this one spot right here. But these are ancient. This is an ancient gateway to a long forgotten trail right here. Even right here, look at this. We're here on, see these, like the way these stones are, these two massive stones. It's an entrance. And look, we're right here. These are all old stone walls. See all these old stone walls? This is an entrance into the trail, into the woods. That's no longer kept up, you know. But now the wintertime is, you can see it. There's a trail right here. And this is the entrance right to the trail. These two stones, these two big stones, they're actually pointing both inward too, right? So I've been in there many times, many times, even on video. You know, this is a very ancient stone wall. If you can't see, you guys, it goes all the way, and then it's bisected, and it goes north-south. See now, right here, it's bisected, and it goes all the way down through the woods here. That stone wall, it's right through the middle of the forest with hundreds of trees all around it. So it's very old. The settlers found it here in the 1600s when they got here. And these are all on ley lines throughout the Hudson Valley. Wow, the geese got scared. Oh, it goes for miles. They're all around here. We even have them in my backyard. You see, this is another entrance. There's there's huge stone walls. Look at these size. Look at these massive. Look, here's another entrance right here. Right through here. This is the entrance, see? And then it goes down through the trail. The trail goes right through there, through the woods. I just got my new sneakers, and I haven't got new sneakers in a long time, so I don't freaking feel like trudging through there right now. But I could show you guys without fucking my shit up. And look, I got sent the new Deftones gear. Yeah, I'm not going in there with my shit on. My wife's gonna yell at me. But look at this massive stone. Look at this shit. Powerful too. And guys, no joke, my new earpiece, the cranial earpiece that I made, oh my god, I mean, this came from my mind, from my dream. And I can't explain to you guys the level of my mind state that it brings me to. It like brings it silences all the negative chatter, and it brings like an enhanced state of awareness that I can't even describe the right way. Like it brings you to a higher frequency. It brings you to harmonic light speed. It's the best way I could, that's what I say, because it's amazing. And even if you're walking fast with it or jogging, I tried that, like, you could feel the wind like spiraling, vortexing around it, and like it like stays away from your ear, and it feels like it's like almost cleansing the air around your aura. It's like whipping around like a tornado, cleansing it, and it's so crazy, man. And it came right from my dreams. Like, I had a vision of this. Actually, you guys don't realize, and you can't see on camera, and they're not even available on my website yet. Raven Angel actually didn't send one because she won one in the contest yesterday, or in the chat room. But they'll be up in the next couple hours. Pretty much everything's done. I just got to take better pictures to explain, because you can't really see, like I was trying to say. Even the copper on this one is specifically with thinner copper, because so you could, like, it's bendy. See, the other AccuVax, the copper is more stiff, the ones that I use as pendants even as well, right? But this one is so it could like even bend behind your ear. Like this AccuVac goes behind your ear where you can't even see it when you're people if you're wearing it out or somewhere. And this is meant for it to even bend around your ear and be molded to it. Look at how flexy it is. This AccuVac. This is really amazing, and I'm very proud of this product. And this is just one of many, many high grade tensor products. Of course, there's other great people out there that make them, but Slim Sperling had the ultimate ones in the 90s. Of course, Slim has passed away. They have light, it's called Light Life technology. This is sacred light technology, you know, and they have the Light Life tools there that are actually way more expensive of mine. And they actually have spherical capacitors, little beads on their AccuVacs, which I will feature eventually in the future. But some of these, like I said, I had put some 14 karat gold in on it. So these are very, very intense. And this is just one of many, many products that I have. They're all built with the same power. Like they all have, there's a few that aren't sacred qubit and are different qubits, but each qubit has a specific harmonic frequency that is beneficial for the human body and spirit. That's why when people hear spirit, they start to put this in esoteric woo-woo category. But guys, there's actual real science and physics behind this. The twisted copper and the sacred qubit, all you guys got to do is do your own research, and you'll see that this is an ancient technology. This is nothing new, but it's something that can bring alternative ways of healing besides putting medications in your body. And the mainstream usually doesn't like that, you know, especially with all the bad frequencies that we have, like, you know, these bad waves of radiating bad radiation around us, these microwaves and all this bad EMF, right? This will help purify and filter in better energy than what's coming out of them. You know, like I said, it's not a cure, but these are remedies. And this is sacred light technology. And I'm telling you, I've never been more clairvoyant than I am when I'm using an item like this, especially this. This is like, it's tucked behind your ear, and it's almost like it's your whole cranial area. Like I just can't explain it, especially like it seems to get right underneath the ridge of your skull area to it. The way it communicates with your whole biosystem is just really intense. And especially, you know, how it has this, so it loops all the way through. It keeps that constant flow. And these are tensor fields stacked on top of tensor fields. And people that are clairvoyant out there, some of them might see what I see. And I can see literally each one of these tensor fields, a beam of light that comes out. And especially the way it can communicate with the sun, you guys will see. Like these light codes that will just come and beam from the sun. Look, I hold the sun. Maybe I'll hold the sun for you. I hand you the sun. What if I can hand you the sun? Ha! Damn. I can feel it all the way up my arm. Light codes. Somebody looking at me up there. Wow, that one cloud is like a giant Nephilim skull or something. Wow. I can't see any questions. Illuminati symbols? Oh, why? Because I have a pyramid, a little thing. My wife actually designed my website, but yeah, it's like I have a symbol on there with the eye and the pyramid, and that means actually illumination. So it doesn't mean that I'm part of the Illuminati. It means like light codes, right? So what else do you want to confront me with in my live chat where I'm trying to have a peaceful morning like meditation kind of chill vibe, and you're bringing negative energy? Fucking, you're a vagrant is right. Take a hike. Much love though, brother. I hope you take care of that negative energy. But yeah, I have some ancient mysteries within my background, within who I am. That doesn't mean it's related to like sacrificing people and shit like that. If that's what you're, if you insinuating when people say Illuminati, they immediately think like, oh, there's some dark Satanism involved. Well, no, nothing like that, brother. Not at all. So you looking in the wrong area when it comes to that. And you have no idea who I am then. But I appreciate your question. Yeah, I do have an eye with a star or pyramid or something. That was like the coolest thing that they had on Wix that was available in the website. It doesn't mean it's not the Illuminati symbol either. I mean, it might be similar to something that they use, but, and I'm not going to change it because you said something either. I don't have anything like that on my other website. I just have a lot of spirals, like spiral galaxies and stuff like that. So that's not a symbol that I normally use. But I do have the tattoo of the Eye of Ra. You know? So that's pretty much a symbol that just resonates with me, and my body responds to it since I found it as a kid. So you could take it as whoever. So I didn't dodge your question. I couldn't look at it because I was looking at the sky. Sun glare. I wasn't seeing anything in the live chat. So once I saw your question, I addressed it, Mr. Vagrant Fowl. Just your name pretty much describes who you are, and I'm not gonna spend time on that. Hold on, I gotta, so, my phone, sorry, but I got good news though. My phone will no longer be dying like this on this. Like, we got a good announcement, and shout out to my brother Larry. I should be getting it today in the mail. Larry sent me, I think it's called a UPS or USP. It's like a unlimited charge, some like a battery pack thing. So I can't wait to get it. And I'm looking into getting a carry laptop as well. So we'll be able to do live streams from all different places, like the megalithic sites that I go, and places like that with better equipment. So stay tuned, because that's coming. Your guys' questions later. Let me see. Well, I got 4% left, so let me see if I can ask you guys. You know, there's actually psychic surgery. There's a book I can recommend to you guys. I think the guys, I gotta look. I have it at my house somewhere. I think it's called Argo. I think maybe it's not Argo. I forget. I read it like 15 years ago, or something. There's actually some surgeries that get done psychic, like by certain shaman and psychics. Not that I'm recommending that you go do that, but you look into that. It's like a holographic healing, where there's actually this one guy. Check this out, and I wouldn't recommend anybody do this, but there's this one guy that I'm talking about, the way they call him, like the shaman with the rusty knife, because he literally has an old like rusty knife that he removes tumors and different things from people, and they're perfectly healed afterwards. And it's crazy. It's really intense, and it's like a sort of holographic healing as well. And there's times where he can actually put his hands in somebody and pull things out, like crazy stuff. And you don't think this stuff is real until you start to witness it. And Dr. Polharich was one of the guys that talked about this, and he actually had a cyst removed by one of these guys as well. So that's very interesting read if you guys want to check that out. But if you guys see the video I did yesterday as well, there was a literal light codes, and if you want to call that light codes or whatever, but you could see the sun was pulsating these plasmic arms, and it was a living intelligence that was coming. And I can see a lot of these plasmic type intelligence beings that go around, if you want to call them beings, whatever they are an energetic intelligence, and it's related to the sun. So it's very interesting when we're here around these ancient stones, these stone walls here in the Hudson Valley, where the sun and the moon is out at the same time. And it's a very, very, very powerful place. What other questions we got out here? I need some water too. I was out here a lot longer than I thought I was going to be. No, rust is not good for surgery. Hell no. It's the worst thing you could possibly think of, right? But they call this guy like the shaman with the rusty knife, because it's like crazy how this stuff is done. Like, I do it from this guy, but you know, orgone healing is part of my my crystals and my copper tensile tools as well. Like, I have orgone power devices that are powered to frequency generators at 432 hertz, and while I'm working, the copper is bathed